Good? What's good? We back. One and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P. Hope everybody's doing well. Fight week this week. You got Sturgis BKFC fight card. So we'll be doing a recap probably Sunday. Got my Dizzle in the cup, just so y'all know. This podcast is brought to you by Dizzle Brand Premium Luxury Liqueur. Go to dizzlebrand.com. All right, let's introduce our guest properly. This is the second time on the podcast. He's 4-1 in bare knuckle, looking to go to 5-1, and he'll be fighting at BKFC Fight Night, Mohegan Sun, August 21st, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it starts at the Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut, versus Robert Fickner. Let's bring on the one and only Sito Navarro. Sito, how you been, man?
What's up, guys? I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Weather's kind of crazy down here, but we good.
Nah, weather here's it's been hot now lately, which sucks right now.
Yeah. I know you're happy to be back in the square circle.
Yeah, man. But before we get into all that, man, how you doing though? It's been a while, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I just been out here grinding, man. Just trying to, build my name up in this bare knuckle world, man.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I see you doing your thing, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Shout out to yourself, man.
Hell yeah,
Been,
hell
wa-
yeah.
been watching all the interviews you be doing and just everything, man.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, the
Of
sport is
course.
definitely growing, man, and you could tell like a lot of people becoming really big fans of this sport.
Yeah, 100%. I'm noticing it too myself. There's a lot of people watching this shit. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool that we get the exposure. You know?
Well, let's get right into it. Your opponent. What you know
Yeah.
about Robert Fickner?
Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I know about him, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I ain't know nothing about him as much. Literally. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I was watching the bare knuckle the fights in Tennessee card.
Mm-hmm.
Um. And I was only watching it because I was so tuned into the main event and the co-main event, and that was the only fight I just wanted to watch. And the only thing I knew about him is that again, like what a lot of people didn't know is that we went through like three to four different opponents for this card, and
Damn.
Robert came to be one of them that we just ended up getting the offer. So I just said, okay. I just told my manager, so I was like, all right, I'll fight him. You know what I mean? If there's no one else, then I'll fight him.
Is there anything from his last fight that impresses you at all?
Yeah. I mean, he's pretty good at like fighting backwards. You know what I mean? What that means is like, let's say if somebody were to come in, he can fight backwards.
Yeah.
Like he basically a counter puncher, in a way, you
Yeah.
know. But other than like, I'll give him that. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, nah, I don't see like anything like impressive to the point where like you know what I mean? Like I fear like, oh, this guy's gonna beat me or something like that. But I will say that this guy, yeah, you know what I mean. But I will say like he's good at like he's a good counter puncher. I'll give him that.
So you think that's gonna be his biggest strength on fight night is counter punching?
He can try, but that's not gonna work with me. It ain't gonna work with me. Heck no. You know.
Now you said he's good at like I guess backing up and punching people. I mean, I think that's a good tool to have in bare knuckle, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. Because again, I'm sure like it just takes one punch and bare knuckle. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like that's the things that like you need to be very cautious about, especially myself. I'm very cautious about that because it's like if I were to come in or just jump straight on him, you know what I mean? He can just like pull back and like counter with a right hand and then just takes one punch to land on my, like a good shot on my nose or eye. And I'm like, you know what I mean? It lands a big cut. So I think anything in general in bare knuckle is where you got to be very cautious about, and it makes everything dangerous.
So without giving away any of your game plan, what area of your own game do you think matches up well against Robert?
No, nothing really. I mean, I'm just gonna go out there and do my thing. To be honest with you, you know what I mean. I just want to go out there, whether if it's to brawl with him or box with him. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna go in there. Literally, when the bell rings, I'm just pretty much gonna do my thing. Either way, I know I'm gonna get this man, and he's just in the way. He's just in the way of it. No disrespect. He's just in the way of me getting this win, and I'm gonna go in there and do my thing and show the whole world why I belong here.
So you expect this one to be over early? Then I'm guessing.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, no, but like reality, yeah, like again, I'm not overlooking Robert. You know what I mean? Um, because people's been saying a lot of comments about him and saying all the nonsense about him, like, oh, he's really fought nobody or he's not ever been in there, doesn't have much experience. Um, but I see a guy. The way I look at it is like I see a guy like that just goes in there that has nothing to lose. Meaning, and I feel like that's what makes him dangerous. And I'm not just talking about in bare knuckle fights. I've watched film of him. I watched
Yeah.
all his past fights, and like I said, he has nothing to lose, which makes him dangerous because he just be throwing punches, wild punches. There's no like technique, no like shoulder rolls or no like
Hmm.
pivots, no angles, no none of that stuff. So I just see a guy that just throws like wild shit, wild punches, and I think that alone, that's what makes him dangerous because that's a guy that has nothing to lose, which is why I get cautious, like in a good way. Like, all right, like I know I'm gonna go in there, similar to how I fought Grady,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
this one's more like, you know what I mean. He's just gonna keep just maybe just throwing a little bit wild punches. But I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna be slick with it. Just counter if I have to, pivot out if I have to, use some angles, and go from there.
I would think when guys throw wild punches, you might have to be even a little bit more cautious because one of those can accidentally land.
Yeah, actually, right, exactly. You know what I mean? I could block like this with my forearms, and then it just takes a one punch to
Yeah.
just go straight through the forearms, and it'll just cut me up open pretty good. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, like I learned from this from bare knuckle myself. Like, nah, man, like the way you could just throw some wild shit and you'll still get cut open, and people still win by knockouts like that. It's wild to me.
Yeah, because I've noticed the last few fights we've been recapping, you have fighters that come out to fight the most beat up and damaged, but they still win in the fights.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny you say that because I was literally talking to my boy about that. Because my boy was saying like, oh, you would think like watching a fight, like whoever is like looks beat up more or looks cut open more or bruised up more is basically
Yep.
losing the fight. And I told him straight up, I'm like, nah, bro,
Yeah.
it's honestly the opposite. Like you'd be surprised. Like it'd be the most like people that are so like bloodied up that be winning the fights. It just happens with a good punch.
Yeah, that's the street rules that we be
Yeah.
thinking like the most beat up is lost, but in bare knuckle,
Yeah.
anything can happen, man. I mean, there was that fight on the last UK card. There was 5 knockdowns in the first round and 3 in the second, and the guy with the most knockdowns got that last knockdown and right on the button, man. Just bam, right on the button, and that was it.
Oh, yeah. I seen that fight too. Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I seen that fight.
The I think it was the Chapman versus Blair fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole fight, but I was watching the Instagram reels. Like they were like they show some slides. So I seen it. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But it's been like that with a lot of those fights where it's like that. Those guys just trade a lot of knockdowns. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's just crazy. Like I don't know if you watched the Italy card. He's the
yeah.
guy that Italian that he fought Chris Camozzi for the belt. Remember that one? Um,
Sicario,
Andre. No, 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 not him. Andre something. I forgot his name.
Arlovsky.
No, no. So Lorenzo was supposed to fight Camozzi in the Italy card, but
Okay.
then Lorenzo got injured.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
It
got
was a rematch,
replaced.
and then that this
Beaky. I thought it was
Italian
Beaky.
Rick,
Beaky.
yeah, yeah, I think it's
Beaky.
Ricky, Big Beaky, yeah, him,
Beaky. Beaky.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that Italy card, but Vicky
Yeah.
was whooping that dude's ass. Like, he was knocking him down, and then out of nowhere, the guy just came back. He made him quit. I don't know if he got landed with a good bare knuckle punch, but he literally quit on the stool. He just said, "Nah, it's not for me." Like, oh, I don't know what happened, but he couldn't continue.
I think this sport will make guys quit a lot more than other sports.
I think I feel like it's the adrenaline going in there. Like they think like, oh, like it's another fight. I've been to a fight, but I feel like the reason why they probably don't do well here is like the moment they come in and come in here, I think they don't are not used to being like cut open or a brawl, mainly a brawl, really. So when
Yeah.
they're in a brawl, you have no choice but to brawl in there. You know what I mean? And you're gonna get cut open. You're gonna feel a punch like Luke Rockhold when he fought Perry just landed like a stiff jab in him, and I think his tooth just like
Tooth
shattered and something, and he just quit. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think it's the intensity of the punches where they don't feel like they've never been hit like that before. And it's like, I mean, I'm sure they've been hit hard, but it's more like bare knuckle. It's like, damn, like, no, this is too brutal. Like, I think that's what it is. It's just they're not used to the pressure and the type of violence that comes with it.
So let's talk about your division, the Bantam division, which is really crazy right now. You got dudes retiring. You got dudes twice done gave up the belt and went to other fight promotions.
Right.
What's your opinion on what's going on with the Bantam division? I mean, it looks like a lot of opportunity opening up.
Yeah, I look at it as a great opportunity. Don't get me wrong. I know Justin Ibarola. He's a great fighter. Um, I actually thought he was going to stick around and defend the belt, but I think he bounced and he got like a
Yep.
maybe a good offer for like a boxing or something, maybe
Misfit.
Misfits, I believe. Yeah, Misfits.
Yeah.
So
Misfit.
again, and I don't blame him. You know what I mean? He's good. The guy's a prize fighter, undefeated. You know what I mean? And he, I know he's a dad now, and I know we don't know
Yep.
each other well, but I look at stuff like that, and it's like maybe he's just doing it for himself and where the opportunity aligns, and that Menace, you know what I mean? He was supposed to fight Jamel Herring, and then he retired and all that.
Yeah. Nate
Um,
Maness. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry if I said his last name wrong, but I know he's out. He's retired. He's out for good.
Yep.
Um, who else? And then we got Bradley Taylor.
He
He just
look. He look
fought.
good.
He looked good. He looked really good. He
He
won the
look good.
UK belt. Yeah, he won the
Yeah.
UK belt, and I think it's just really good. I know like there's a lot of like fighters and the rankings like Keith Richardson. I don't know where he's at, but I know he's been inactive, and I haven't
Yeah.
seen
He ain't
him in a
fought in a
while.
while.
Yeah, he hasn't fought in a while. So I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he fights for us again. Who knows? I know that Russian guy. He left to BKB, and he was ranked before, and
Yeah. The one that beat Keith,
Usmanov's.
right? Yeah. The one that beat
Yeah, the
Keith.
one
Yeah.
that beat Keith, yeah. And he gone and left. So yeah, man, like the more I see these guys just come and go, it's like it's an opportunity for me, you know. Just little by little.
Yeah, because and then you got Reber, love him to death, but he's had two shots. He might have one left if if the promotion allows it. But I mean, you got Bradley Taylor who looking good, might could get a shot at Jamel Herring. If he doesn't win, then who's left?
Yeah. I will say this, I've been paying attention a lot. I will say that I know that once I beat Fickner, that will put
Mm,
me on 4 fights in a row, winning. So that will put me on the I believe the active winning streak in the bantamweight division.
mm,
And just with those 4 in a row, like I think that alone just puts me on like either a title shot or give me a title eliminator. You know what I mean? And if that means I gotta go fight, Reber, and because I told them, and I told BKFC and everyone, but like I said, I'm not overlooking my opponent. But hey, if I gotta fight that man in his own hometown, You know what I mean? In Clearwater, Florida, I'm down to do it. You know what I mean? It's just business, nothing personal. But if that's what it takes to get from my belt, then I will do it. And Jamel Herring, that guy's a paper champ. He don't belong. He don't belong here. That shit was gifted to him. That belt was gifted to him, and it sucks because this guy's like me, and other fighters like Reber and Richardson. Or you can name all these guys. These guys got to work their way up to get a title shot.
Yeah,
And they want to give this fucking guy a title shot. Why? Because he won a freaking world boxing
yeah,
championship in another sport. No, he looked fucking hideous against Matt Guyman, a guy that he could have stopped. No disrespect to Guyman, but you know what I'm trying to
yeah,
say? Like he
yeah.
could have went in there and made him look easy. And the next thing you know, they give him a title shot, and it's just it's crazy, But he don't deserve it, man. He don't
And I
deserve
think
that.
I think Nate Maness would have been a tougher opponent for him than Larimore. No disrespect to Larimore, but
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Larimore got his shot now, and now I mean, you might only get one shot if you're lucky for some of these
right,
guys.
right,
Reber's been lucky to get two,
right.
and the way it's opened up, he looked like he could get a third eventually.
Yeah, yeah,
And we
exactly.
were,
Who knows? Yeah, and you made a great point. But that's why me like is when I come in and I just say, you know what I mean? Like I let stuff like God take care of that for me because only God knows when I'll get my opportunity. It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? I'm still young, man. You know what I mean? And I'm only 25, and I'm still here to grow. And things like this, opportunities like this, is where I just stay patient, keep training, and then just wait for a call you know. But again, like it's not fair for a fucking guy that just gets his title shot right away. It's not fair. I've done the tryouts. You know what I mean? I worked my way from the trials to make a name for myself in the division. I remember they were handing out contracts, you know what I mean, in the tryouts, and I didn't even get picked. And but I worked my way up. Like, I introduced myself to like a couple fighters, and I want to give a shout out to Lorenzo Hunt. Lorenzo Hunt was one of the guys that I met, and he basically told me just to pull up to the trials and let me see what you can do. And then and he let some other people know, and shout out to Kevin Smith and all those guys before. Like those guys were the ones that basically helped me get to where I am, and Zach Kalmus, and you know what I mean. And like I
yeah.
said, man, my bad. Like it's just I worked my way up. You know what I mean? There's guys that actually work their way up to make a name for themselves, and then you got a guy like that just comes in and just grabs it. It's not fair.
Well, it seems like BKFC always be trying to give favoritism to ex UFC guys or the ex boxers. Trout got a championship fight after two matches.
Right.
Jamel Herring on his second. They always do that, and they kind of overlook the homegrown guys. And we were talking, me and Yost. I don't know if you know Anthony Yost, but we were talking about
Yeah.
how you're really young, one of the younger guys in bare knuckle, because there's a lot of old guys with the belts. You're 20,
Right.
what, 25?
Yeah. I'm 20. I just turned 25. Literally a couple
We were
days
just
ago.
talking about you could have a really good career in this sport, man. I mean, because some of these guys are so old, they coming in and they're going to be on the way out. This
Right.
could be. I mean, I could see 10 years of this,
Right. Exactly.
especially the way the fights are spaced out. Like if they don't start giving the homegrown guys more fights and less debuts, it's like guys only getting two fights at a year at most. If you're lucky, three.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to get 3 fights last year. So that I'm very grateful for that. And like I said, man, like you made a great point. Like it seems to like be that they're giving like these UFC vets and big name boxers come in and give them a shot. But I get it at a business standpoint, because it's helping them grow their fan base, and I feel like they feel like that if they bring in like maybe a local guy that's a big name, you know what I mean, that draws more attention, that draws more fans, and that draws more eyes to the brand themselves, because BKFC is is basically a brand, you know what I mean, the way I look at it. So they're trying to get people to you know get involved that are big names, to for us, so we can get the publicity, you know what I mean. I just wish that we kind of were, treated it similar in a way, you know what I mean, with those guys as far as like maybe like compensation or opportunities like that or
Yeah.
sponsors and all that stuff, But again, like things like that work within time, and but I know my time will come when it comes to stuff like that.
And I don't know if anybody's brought this up, but I think they got like secret handshakes with these guys. Because like Harry Gigliotti, I get it. You were a champion at BKB, but it's a smaller promotion, and you come
Mhm.
over, you get one fight, and automatically you get a title shot. It's like, whoa, hold up. So they probably already promised them, hey, you win this fight, we'll give you a shot on the second fight.
Yeah, probably. Who knows? They probably did. They probably not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to see
I mean, he skipped the
Gigliotti.
line,
Yeah,
but he
no,
skipped the
yeah,
line, dude.
yeah, yeah. And there's guys that worked their way up, to fight 145, and you know what I mean. And but don't get me wrong, like Gigliotti, he came from another bare knuckle organization, undefeated, made a name on
Yeah.
the other organization,
Yeah.
came over here, and then he made a win, and then he called out Kai Stewart. You know what I mean? So that I think that alone, like the way he called him out when he fought at Mohegan, I think that's what brought eyes. And also like BKFC is coming to Massachusetts, so he's like me, like we're from Massachusetts, so they
Yeah.
probably looked at that like oh, like maybe this is a big opportunity for Gigliotti to fight Kai Stewart for the belt, so I get it, like again I see your point,
Well,
but I look at it as like a what makes sense for them as far as like ticket
well, it
sales
makes
and
sense
who's not.
because
Yeah,
we know Gigliotti. Yeah, well, we know he gave up the belt in other organization and came over here to win this
right,
belt.
right,
So
yeah,
that was the whole plan, anyways, of him leaving
right,
to go over to BKFC. So I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, and who knows, I mean, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. But all I can say is that I'm happy for Gigliotti gets his title shot. I'll be there to watch and support the main event as well. I'm actually looking forward to that, and then yeah, basically go from there. But I see your point, man.
so let's get back to some of the questions real quick. So what do you think separates BKFC from every other combat sport so far?
Sorry, the signal like see from other combat sports.
Yeah, what do you think separates BKFC from other combat sports?
What do you mean with that question? Like, what makes them better in a way?
Or what separates them? Like what why do you think what makes them stand out?
Oh, BK. Oh man. Oh, think about it. Um, it's kind of corny, but like if you really think about it, they kind of like the fastest growing combat sport in a 2 minute fast paced fight. You know what I mean? This kind of BKFC kind of reminds me of amateur boxing, where like you gotta
Uh-huh.
go in there and throw not like
And they just
nonstop
start throwing
punches.
blows nonstop the whole
Yeah, they
fight.
just
Yeah.
throwing. Yeah, and everybody likes that.
That
Everybody
makes
likes
sense.
that shit.
Yeah, it
You,
makes
you know what
sense.
I
Yeah.
mean? So when literally when the bell rings, you're literally like right there in front of the other guy's face, like right there, and you got no
Yeah.
choice but to go left or right. You know what I mean? So you got to stand there and bang. Where like guys like boxing. Don't get me wrong. I come from boxing, but as a fan of boxing, I don't really like watching boxing fights, especially 12 rounds, because it's like, people be doing the little shuffle, like the little shuffle, doing that for 12 rounds. Nobody don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like it's
Hell
still
no.
it's boxing. You know what I mean? Like you learn the science of boxing, like hit and don't get hit. But not everybody wants to see it for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? That gets
Yeah.
boring. Where the BKFC is
So
quick, it's fast paced.
I know you guaranteeing a win on this next fight. Is there anybody you're gonna be looking to call out? Like if they give you the mic?
I hope they give me the mic. To be honest with you, I really hope they give me the mic. I've been in this game for quite some time. No, but seriously, No, I mean, I know I'm gonna win this fight. I'm not overlooking Robert at all. I know I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, but once they give me that mic, like I said, I'm just closed mouths don't get fed. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell BKFC and Feldman and the whole world no. Like, listen, like I'm here. Like I need that belt. You know what I mean? I need that belt. That belt is mine. You know what I mean? And if I have to call out Jamel Herring to tell him straight up, like, yo, I'm coming for your ass for that belt because that belt belongs to here, where the real fighter that actually fought his way and worked his way up to get that title, then I will do it. And if that means I gotta go ahead and fly across from Florida to fight Ryan Reber at main event Clearwater or whatever BKFC throws my way, then we'll do it. We'll make it happen. But I'm here, you know what I mean? Whoever I gotta fight for them, for BKFC, for them to make sense, we'll make it happen because just sooner or later that belt will be mine.
If I'm not mistaken, Reber's originally from up your way though.
Yeah, he's from Connecticut as
Connecticut.
well, but he's out of
Yeah,
Florida now.
yeah.
Yeah, he's more.
And what if
I
you?
think he's mainly a Florida guy now.
What if they want you to go across the pond to fight Bradley Taylor?
Oh, I'll do it. Yeah, man. Bradley Taylor's a great fight. He's a great opponent. That's definitely competition right there. And yeah, I see a fight like that with him. Definitely in the future, and that's definitely somebody I would love to fight in the future. Another guy that I've been paying close attention to is Justin Street. You know,
Okay, yeah,
I've been paying
yeah.
attention to that one as well. So that's definitely one guy I would love to get in the ring with.
That'd be a nice one. You and Nightmare
Yeah,
Street.
yeah, man. I like, that's definitely one guy that I would love to, get my hands on with in the future. You know what I mean? And again, like, I don't want nobody, and I'm gonna make myself clear, like, I don't want nobody to think that I'm ducking smoke or I'm ducking fighters. No, you know what I mean? Because with all due respect, I'm sure you hear this a lot, man. Like, a lot of fighters, they be saying, like, oh, sign the contract. But you're
Yeah,
like, there's no names, like, offered on the table. You know what I mean? There's no names offered on the table.
yeah,
So it's like I'm not ducking nobody. Like I've never once said no or yeah, you know what I mean? Like like your name was never been put on the table. It just again like I just go with the flow. I trust my team, especially my manager DJ Tony. Shout out to him, man. I love that dude. That's like my brother right there. But that's one guy like I
yeah. He
trust.
just
Like
tuned in. He just tuned in too.
what's up, man? Yeah, but like I said, like I trust Tony and I trust Nate Shug, Feldman, so whatever they feel like makes sense for me, then I'll take that opportunity. You know what I mean? If like and go from there.
Yeah, I had a. I'll be doing a recap with Dan Pettit. He was trying to fight Matt Guyman at Sturgis, and I guess he was saying Matt was ducking him, but Matt said, "Yo, I can't duck nobody if nobody's offered me a contract." That's the thing. At the end of the day, it's up to the fight promotion. I mean, fighters can try to make a fight happen, but that doesn't
Right.
always work.
Yeah, I remember I think I used to try to do that. Like I would try to call out a fighter out, or so, but I feel like doing that, I feel like I'm doing I don't know. I feel like I'm begging at that point, for a fight. And I remember I did that shit and I got my ass handed to me. You know what I mean? No, but seriously, no, but like stuff like that, I try to be patient. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
try to really be patient. And again, man, I'm young, and that's what I'm very grateful for is my youth, where I get to showcase my talent, my skills, and all that stuff. So, like I said, man, these guys, are calling out other fighters to get a fight, like Dan Pettit and man, there's a lot of fighters that I can't think of that have been calling out to get a fight, and I don't blame them, But I just learned to stay patient in this game and stay ready.
Yeah, I get it, man. Some cats get very impatient. I mean, when you ain't had a fight in about a year or two, it can get frustrating. I get it, man. Especially when this is all you do and all you know right now is bare knuckle, But I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
I think
no,
they just need to start. I think they need to start opening up more states. I think the fact that a lot of states are still not legal yet is holding things
right.
back. It seems like they're able to open up new countries easily because it seems like countries, go along with it easier. But there's still a lot of states that North Carolina is still not legal. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, North
So I'm
Carolina.
like,
Yeah, yeah. I know
like
they're.
we got,
I think they're I think they're coming to Vegas soon too. I heard that's the rumor.
yeah,
I think they're gonna announce Vegas for next year. Um, but I heard that's one state that isn't legal yet. I know New York it's not legal yet with bare knuckle. That's one state I would love to see, be legalized, especially if they did it at Madison Square Garden. That'd be cool.
yeah. You can easily
That'd be
do in
really
there. There's
cool.
so many people in New York.
Yeah, no, definitely a lot of fighters from New York. They just legalized Massachusetts. You know what I mean? And I live in Massachusetts, and I'm a little jealous that I'm not on that Fenway card. You know what I mean? Because it's literally like 30 minutes away from my house. But I get it. For business, they just want me in there.
Shouts out to Anthony Yossi said neither is Minnesota. That's his home state.
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah. DJ Tony said
Or
Bronx
Yeah,
Stadium.
that'd be a good one. Or Yankee Stadium. Yeah, yeah, same thing. Yeah, I mean that'd be one. I remember me and Tony. We went to the Yankee Stadium when they came to New Jersey. When
Hmm.
BKFC came to New Jersey, man, that was a great experience.
Jersey's legal. Massachusetts legal. New York tripping, man.
Yeah, but the thing with New York and Massachusetts and Connecticut, like it's so freaking strict. Like it's so strict. They look for certain it's like where like physicals and medicals. Yeah, they're just very strict with stuff like that.
You talking about like the commissions?
Yeah, yeah, like the commissions, like they're so freaking strict. I remember in the New Jersey card, there was like a lot of fighters pulled out. Not because they wanted to, but they had no choice because the commission, or something like that. I'm not gonna say names, but like I remember, I was just hearing it. I was like, oh shit, like damn.
I heard California is very strict too.
Yeah, that's one. Yep, that's is very strict. From what I hear, yeah.
What the hell's happened, man? We went from gladiators cutting heads off and celebrating to we can't even legalize bare knuckle.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I think just these commissions, man. They're very strict. But that's why guys like David Feldman himself, the president bare knuckle. That's where he comes in, and I think that's why he gives us fighters an opportunity to show the world, to fight because it gives opportunities for other states. You know what I mean? To actually pay attention. Like, damn, maybe this isn't bad after all. You know what I mean? Maybe we should legalize this. So I all props to David Feldman, man. For making everything happen and giving other states an opportunity to see bare knuckles so they can be in consideration of approving it.
Well, if this Boston card sells out, that I mean that's gonna be huge. I think the spot holds about 30 something thousand people.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna do the whole
The whole, not the
the,
whole thing. Okay,
no, I don't think they're gonna do all that. That'd be dope though. That would
yeah.
be dope. But I don't think they're doing the whole thing. I may be mistaken, but I don't think they're doing the whole thing.
I mean that probably makes sense because 30 something
Yeah.
thousand might be a overreach. I mean you might need Jay-Z to headline to sell
Right.
that out.
Right now, you ain't lying. You gotta like invite freaking Big Poppy, David Ortiz, or somebody to pull up or do a little concert there at
Yeah.
Fenway.
I before we let you go, anything you want to say? Any shout outs? Anything message to your opponent?
No, I just want to shout out to David Feldman for making this happen and and giving me another shot with BKFC and my manager Tony and and just the whole BKFC staff for being really good to me and I appreciate all of them and I thank all my sponsors. Like I signed another deal with OnlyFans. You know what I mean. So if you want me to see me share
Okay.
my share my ass cheeks, you know what I mean. We're gonna do it now. I'm fucking around. Nah, nah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, but I did another deal with OnlyFans. That's one of them. Got a couple sponsors in line. There's just so much local businesses. Giving shout outs to. Well, now all I'm gonna say is like we are what 17 days away. Slick Sito is back. August 21st. Hit me up for tickets. It's gonna be a great night of fights. I am going for the finish. I'm going for the knockout, whether it was one round, two, three, four, five, don't matter. I am gonna go in there and I'm gonna go do my thing. So thank you guys for tuning in. And again, that belt is mine. That belt is mine. Just a matter of time. And looking forward to being back.
One more quick question: did you get a trading card?
Yeah, I also got a trading card with Oh
Okay,
Yes. Yeah, I got got that trading card as well. So that's yeah. Shout out to them
I'm
as well.
interested to see those when they drop, man. Like I know it's supposed to be the end of the year or something. They supposed to drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of signatures I gotta fill out. So it's freaking packs of signatures. So I definitely gotta like fill those out. And I'm a really busy man, I work a lot of hours of training and the work itself. So I try to take my time and do all that.
That's what's up, man. I'm definitely gonna be trying to get me some trading cards when they
Heck yeah,
drop.
it'll be valuable too in the
Yep.
future.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time out. You know you're a friend of the show, so you're more than welcome to come on anytime you want, man. And I can't wait to see your fight, man.
No, thank you again, man. Listen, man, Paul, I appreciate for you taking your time of day to interviewing myself and other fighters, man. I appreciate the hustle that you do for us, and not a lot of people pay attention to that, but I'm one of those I definitely pay attention to. I love what you do. I'm a big fan of of your interviews and all that stuff, and I really hope one day I get to meet you sometime.
Yeah, me too, man. Definitely.
No, definitely, brother. But hey, thank you again for having me on again, once again. And
Yep.
again, guys, don't forget August 21st. We are about 17 days away. I am back. This is gonna be a great night of fights, and I'm definitely am gonna get this win and get my hand raised.
That's what's up, man. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Hell, thank you, man. You as well.
Uh, all right, peace. Well, there you have it. Slick Cito Navarro will be fighting on the Mohegan fight card, and let me actually go over that a little bit. I know we got Sturgis coming up. So I'm gonna go through that real quick before I get off here. So me, Mohegan Sun, I mean Bryce Henry and Trinidad Snake is the main event. That's definitely gonna be interesting. It's gonna say a lot about where Bryce Henry is at as a fighter. It's gonna be a tough one, I think. Um, excuse me. You got Cody Vital and Joseph Career. I should be interviewing Cody Vital this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tune in for that. Uh, Joey Gambino and Tommy Stridham. Tommy's coming from over the UK. Fight Joey. You got Cito versus Robert Fickner. Almost a feature fight. And they just added some pictures of some of these other fighters that weren't up. Chris Montano versus Michael Hernandez. Um, Chris Perrault versus Joe Powers. Brandon Bushaw versus Matt Denning. Isaiah Williams versus Nate LaRocco. Nate Garib versus Nash Diedrichs. Alexandra Ballou versus Sophia Hayes. And Jerry Leonard versus Dominic Carey as well. And that's going to be August 21st. And of course, we got Mohegan Sun. Dan Pettit for the recap show is going to be out there and it's supposed to be doing some interviews under the Paul Pickett podcast moniker. So appreciate that. We got Defiant Brian Atkinson versus who? Mike Jones, who was on the Bare Knuckle show today, doing an interview along with Crystal Pittman. Got Bear Hill versus Brady Big Berg Meister. That's gonna be an interesting one, man. Brady Meister is a tough dude. Zeb Vincent got a new opponent, Alonzo Martinez. Cheyenne Bitman versus the beautiful Crystal Pittman, who I literally have a crush on. Lucas Wright versus Brian McDowell. Clay Collard versus Daniel Keepers. And the free fights is Trayvon Kroger versus KB DeBo Staby. Art Driscoll versus Justin Walters, and Jason Simon versus Jason Sanderson to start it out. Those will probably be 3 rounders. Let's see who tuned in on Instagram. Shouts out to One Tough Boxer, Keith the Officer Richardson, the Vanna Keys, Big Ben, 315. Trent Flournoy, Knuckles and Knives, appreciate you. Joshua Oxendine, who's down 30 minutes from my way. He's from Pembroke. I'm from Fayetteville. Rena Wars, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the comments, Trent. BKFC take it over the world one punch at a time with the Juggernaut and David Feldman. Keep on pushing. Facts. All right, so tomorrow we got an interview, and shouts out to my man Yost and Anthony DJ Tony as well. Yost does the bare knuckle recap with me, so he'll be on there. I guess what is it, Sunday? We'll be doing a recap. Let me make sure. All right, so oops, go back. Okay, so the 8th, is that Saturday? That is Saturday. So Sunday we'll be doing a recap of BKC Fight Night. It'll probably be me, Yost, and Doug Coltrane, and hopefully Dan Pettit as well. But he's going to be at Sturgis, so I don't know if he'll have time to take time out. Appreciate you, Yost. We need to get you on for a new interview as well, too, man. BKC need to give you a new fight as well, too. But yeah, I'm about to wrap it up. I was going through the closet, man. Like, you ain't a real bare knuckle fan unless you got this right here, Lights Out on Bullying, written by Chris Lytle. So if you got kids, go get this book. This is Lights Out on Bullying, written by Chris Lytle. And Chris Lytle's never met him personally, interviewed him a couple of times. One of the greatest human beings that I've ever personally spoke to. Really nice guy, decent human being, lifetime firefighter. And could you imagine if he would have just went straight to bare knuckle and never did UFC if bare knuckle was out back then? Gosh, because when he got in the bare knuckle fighting those few fights, I almost thought it was unfair. Like the guys that were fighting him, it was like, damn, this is unfair as hell. All right, man, about to wrap it up. Appreciate y'all. Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be interviewing Kat Paprocki. And yeah, that one would be kind of early. Got to kind of work around her schedule, but that's fine with me. I'll make sure I pronounce that name right. I think it's Paprocki. Uh, yeah, Kat Paprocki, and she's 2-1. We'll be fighting Taylor Starling at Fenway. So that's going. I'm just interested to see how many people show up for that Fenway card, because that's a big venue. That's a huge venue. I appreciate it, man. We're about to wrap it up. Peace, and I'm out.